Love beyond the surface. There once was an intelligent yet shy and slightly clumsy guy named Chris. He was chubby, often tripping over his own feet or knocking over his books as he tried to navigate the crowded university hallways. While he didn't stand out much, his mind was sharp and his heart even sharper, particularly when it came to a girl named Angel. Angel, with her angelic looks and infectious smile, was the center of attention. Popular and admired by everyone, she was always surrounded by friends. Chris admired her from afar, his heart beating faster whenever she passed by. He could never bring himself to speak to her, feeling like he wasn't good enough. After all, who could love a chubby, awkward guy like him, always fumbling and tripping, when someone as radiant as Angel seemed so far out of reach? One day, after another clumsy incident where Chris had accidentally knocked over a stack of papers in front of Angel, he decided he couldn't hold back his feelings anymore. Summoning all his courage, he approached her after class, his heart racing as he stood in front of her. Chris nervously stood in front of Angel, his heart pounding in his chest. He fumbled with his hands, trying to steady himself, before finally speaking.
"Angel,"
he said, his voice soft but sincere.
I know I'm not the kind of guy you'd normally notice, but I really like you. I have for a long time. You're just amazing, and I had to tell you."
Angel looked at him with a mix of surprise and disdain, her lips curling into a faint smirk.
"Chris,"
she replied coldly.
"you're sweet, but look at you. I deserve someone better."
Her words hit him like a punch to the gut, and Chris could feel his face flush with embarrassment. He stood there for a moment, frozen in disbelief as Angel walked away, her friends laughing quietly behind her. Devastated, Chris withdrew into himself for a while, but he didn't let Angel's cruel rejection break him. Instead, it fueled his determination. He started working out, taking care of his appearance, and focusing even more on his studies. His hygiene improved, his body transformed, and slowly but surely, he became the best version of himself. What Chris didn't know was that someone else had been watching him all along. A girl named Lily. She was in the same class, but preferred to stay in the background. Lily had natural beauty, but she never flaunted it. She didn't wear makeup or fashionable clothes, and she quietly admired Chris for who he was, even before his transformation. Years passed, and after graduating, Chris started his own business, which quickly became successful. His wealth and status grew, but so did his confidence. He was no longer the shy, clumsy, chubby boy from university. He was a confident, wealthy, and successful man. Despite his success, Chris couldn't shake the memories of Angel. He hadn't seen or heard from her since graduation, but her rejection lingered in his mind, along with the curiosity about what had become of her. He remembered how she had always seemed to live beyond her means, expensive clothes, lavish accessories, but at the time, he thought nothing of it. With his newfound confidence, Chris decided to hire a private investigator just days before the upcoming reunion, purely out of curiosity, to find out what Angel had been up to. When the investigator returned with his findings, Chris was shocked. Angel had been entangled with a wealthy professor during their university days. She had been accepting favors and gifts in exchange for special treatment in her academics and a luxurious lifestyle. The evidence was overwhelming. Photos, emails, and financial records all showed how she had continued this arrangement even after graduation. Chris felt a wave of emotions, disbelief, sadness, and confusion. He had once admired Angel, even loved her, but now he realized that her life wasn't as perfect as it had seemed. It wasn't just about her rejecting him for his looks. She had been living a life controlled by manipulation. Part of him felt sorry for her, trapped in this situation, while another part of him felt betrayed that she had hidden this from everyone. Still, Chris didn't know what to do with this information. He didn't want to expose her out of spite, but he couldn't ignore what he had learned. He decided to go to the reunion with an open mind, unsure of how the night would unfold. On the night of the reunion, Chris walked into the banquet room with this heavy knowledge weighing on his mind. Heads turned as he entered, his transformation stunning those who hadn't seen him in years. Yet, the secret he carried about Angel's ongoing entanglement with the professor loomed large in his thoughts. Angel, the once popular girl, was also at the reunion. She was shocked when she realized who Chris was, and seeing his newfound success, approached him with a flirty smile, as if their past encounter had never happened. She tried to charm him, but Chris wasn't interested. He remembered her rejection clearly, but now he knew more than she thought he did. He could see past her mask, and it hurt to realize that she was still caught in the same web of lies. Angel, feeling slighted by Chris's indifference, plotted with some of their classmates to humiliate him. During the night's events, Chris was called up to the stage for a speech. As he made his way up, one of his old male classmates, acting on Angel's orders, tripped him. Chris fell forward, crashing into a table of cocktail drinks. Glass shattered and alcohol spilled all over him. Laughter erupted from Angel and her clique, while Chris lay there, stunned and drenched. As Chris lay on the floor, humiliated and drenched in alcohol, Angel's laughter echoed through the banquet room.
Look at him.
She mocked, her voice dripping with scorn.
Some things never change.
But Lily couldn't stay quiet any longer. Her fists clenched and she stormed over, pushing past the crowd.
Shut up, Angel!
She shouted, her voice shaking with anger. She knelt beside Chris, helping him to his feet, her eyes burning with fierce determination.
You're nothing but a bully. How could you treat someone like this?
Angel smirked, stepping forward, her eyes narrowing at Lily.
Oh, look who's talking. The quiet little mouse decides to roar. What's your problem, Lily? Are you upset because Chris won't notice you? Or is it because you've been hiding in the shadows, hoping for scraps?
Lily's hands trembled, but she stood her ground.
I'm not hiding anything, Angel. Unlike you, I don't need to put on a fake show to feel important. And at least I don't need to rely on dirty secrets to get by.
Angel's face darkened.
Careful, Lily. You don't want to mess with me.
And what are you going to do, Angel? Call another one of your friends to trip me too?
Lily shot back. She was furious now, and her voice rose, attracting the attention of everyone in the room.
You act like you're some queen, but deep down you're just insecure. You treat people like garbage to cover up your own flaws.
Angel stepped closer, her eyes flashing dangerously.
You don't know anything about me, Lily, and neither does Chris. You're just jealous because you'll never be me.
Chris, still drenched and humiliated, felt anger boiling inside him. He had had enough of Angel's cruelty. He stepped between Lily and Angel, finally speaking up with a voice full of calm fury.
Angel?
He said, looking her straight in the eye.
Lily's right. You hide behind this perfect image, but it's just that. An image. You treat people like they're beneath you because you think it makes you look strong. But you know what? All it does is show how weak you really are.
Angel scoffed, crossing her arms.
Weak? You think I'm weak because I don't grovel at your feet like Lily does? Don't make me laugh, Chris.
Chris's eyes hardened.
No, I think you're weak because you can't stand on your own. You rely on people, like that professor you've been manipulating for years.
The room fell silent. Angel's face drained of color as gasps spread through the crowd.
Well, what are you talking about?
Angel stammered, trying to regain her composure. Chris didn't back down. He pulled out his phone and connected it to the projector. Images of Angel with the professor appeared on the screen. Messages, pictures, and transactions that left no room for doubt. The evidence was undeniable. Angel's confident demeanor crumbled as she saw the truth exposed before everyone. Her perfect facade shattered, leaving her vulnerable in front of the very people she had once controlled.
How could you?
She whispered, her voice breaking. Chris stepped closer to her, his voice firm but calm.
I didn't do this to hurt you, Angel. I wanted to help you. But I can't stand by while you keep hurting others. You don't have to live like this anymore. You're better than this.
Angel's eyes filled with tears, her face flushed with shame. Without another word, she turned and ran from the room, her laughter and cruelty replaced with the sound of her heels echoing in the hallway. Lily exhaled, her shoulders relaxing as she turned to Chris.
You didn't have to do that for me.
She said quietly, wiping a tear from her cheek. Chris smiled softly, reaching out to take her hand.
I didn't do it just for you. I did it for myself too, and for everyone Angel ever hurt.
Lily's lips curved into a shy smile as she looked up at him.
You've changed so much, Chris.
So have you, Lily.
Chris said, his voice warm.
I just never saw it before, but now I do. Thank you for standing up for me tonight.
Lily blushed, her eyes shining with emotion.
You've always been worth standing up for.
Chris's heart swelled with admiration and affection for the girl who had quietly supported him all this time, and as they walked out of the reunion together hand in hand, they knew that their journey was just beginning. Together, they would face whatever challenges life threw their way, knowing that they had each other's backs, just as they always had. The past was behind them now, and the future, brighter than ever, was theirs to embrace. Moral of the story is that true value and love are found in kindness, integrity, and perseverance, not in superficial appearances or social status. Those who judge others based on external factors may live empty lives, while those who grow through adversity and remain authentic will ultimately find real happiness and meaningful connections. Additionally, true love comes from seeing the worth in a person's heart, not from what they appear to be on the outside. Subscribe for more.